Why does the Leaning Tower of Pisa lean? The answer isn't a design flaw in the beautiful white marble structure itself, but rather what lies beneath it. The story of the tower's famous tilt begins with its very foundation. Construction started way back in the year 1173 in the city of Pisa, Italy. The builders chose a site that, unbeknownst to them, was far from ideal for a tall, heavy stone tower. The ground in this part of Pisa is not solid rock. Instead, it's a soft mixture of clay, sand, water, prone to shifting under heavy loads. This soft soil is the real culprit. The foundation they laid was surprisingly shallow, only about 3 meters deep, for a tower planned to be over 55 meters tall and weigh nearly 15,000 tons. That shallow foundation was a critical miscalculation. It was like standing a very tall, heavy lamp on a squishy mattress. The weight wasn't distributed widely or deeply enough. As the centuries passed, the tower's lean became more than just a curiosity. It became a serious danger. The angle of tilt was increasing by a small but measurable amount each year. Engineers and officials grew increasingly worried that the tower would reach a tipping point where gravity would simply pull it over. The structure itself was also under immense stress. The marble blocks on the lower side of the lean were being crushed under the unevenly distributed weight. By the 20th century, the situation was critical. The top of the tower was displaced by over 5 meters from where it should have been. Over the years, many ideas were proposed to fix the problem. One of the first major interventions happened in 1838. An architect ordered a walkway to be dug around the base to expose the buried foundation. Digging backfired dramatically, like scooping sand away from the legs of a chair on the beach. The work disturbed the delicate water table and removed support. The tower lurched and gained several inches of lean in just a few days. A terrifying lesson in soil mechanics. Another attempt happened in the 1930s under Mussolini's government. Drill hundreds of holes into the foundation and pump in tons of cement grout. It failed. The injected wet concrete compressed the soft soil unpredictably, and the tower tilted even more. After decades of debate and failed attempts, a final ambitious project began in the 1990s. The tower was closed to the public. A team of international engineers, led by John Burland, set out to save it. Their plan was elegantly simple in concept, but incredibly complex to execute. Instead of pushing the tower up from the sinking south side, they chose to remove small amounts of soil from under the raised north side. The idea encouraged the tower to gently settle back toward upright. Microsurgery on the earth. First, secure the tower against sudden movements. A massive harness of steel cables wrapped around the third story, anchored to giant A-frames on the north side, not to pull it back, but to hold it steady and prevent toppling. A temporary safeguard to work below ground. They used a helical auger, a giant corkscrew drill, inserted through casings at a shallow angle beneath the north foundation, designed to remove soil with minimal disturbance. Very slowly and precisely, small volumes of soft clay were removed, only a few liters at a time. Then they waited for sensitive instruments to measure the response. Imagine a tiny straw, sucking a bit of sand from under one edge of a block on a sandbox. Create a small, controlled void so the foundation settles into it and the tower rotates back, reducing its lean. The soil extraction method worked because it was the first solution that truly understood the root cause, the unstable clay soil. Previous attempts that added weight, like concrete injections, only made the problem worse by further compressing the soft ground on the already sinking south side. Soil extraction was brilliant because it was subtractive. By removing material from the stable north side, it used the tower's own weight to induce a controlled settlement. Gravity, the force that had threatened the tower for centuries, became the agent of its salvation. Over the course of the project, which concluded in the early 2000s, engineers reduced the tower's lean by about 45 centimeters. It returned the tower to the inclination it had in the early 19th century, and, more importantly, stabilized the structure completely. The accelerating lean was halted, and stresses in the marble were significantly relieved, ensuring it would not crumble under its own weight. The tower was reopened to the public in 2001, and today it's safer than it has been for centuries. Sophisticated monitoring still tracks its position and soil conditions. Engineers say it will be stable for at least the next 300 years. They never tried to make it perfectly straight, just safe.